Today, we're going to talk about SEO. So, a lot of people think SEO is some sort of big, crazy math problem and that they can't get it and that it's just super technical stuff and all this stuff. But I'm here to tell you today that it's not that hard. So, SEO, as we know, is search engine optimization. Now, when you SEO your site, so when you make it optimized for search engines, so just switch that around, what you're doing is you're setting it up and giving your website the best shot that it has for Google to send out its bots, read the website content, and say, okay, this site probably is about this. Let's read it. Let's see who's linking to it. And it looks good, let's put it near the top of the search engine result pages, right? Not that hard, okay? Pretty easy concepts. I think we all know that search engine optimization basically means your site looks good to Google and they rank it high in the search engine pages. So, this is how Google works. It's pretty easy. So, when people enter in a search, let's say they search for shoes, and they click Google, they click search. What happens is, this all happens in a fraction of a second too. Google sends out a bunch of Google bots. There they all go. There's millions of them, little pieces of code, and they read all the websites that they have indexed, which are billions of pages, and they say, okay, this page right here looks the best for shoes, and they return that number 1. Then they say this one looks second best for shoes, they return that number 2. And this one looks third best, and they return it number 3, so on and so forth. So, how do you get to this number 1 result? Well, let's go over it. So first of all, there's 2 important aspects with SEO. Two important aspects. And these change from time to time, but over the past few years, they've been pretty similar. This is what's going to help the most, I believe, and in my experiments with upping your search engine optimization. Number 1, keywords on a page. And we're not talking about keyword stuffing, which is where you just take your keyword and put it like 50 times on a page. It doesn't work like that anymore. It's not 1999, even though that would be awesome. Keywords on the page, also known as on-page SEO. 2, backlinks. Backlinks are very helpful. What are backlinks? So a backlink is when some other website points back or links back to yours. So let's say I wrote an article on the best Nike shoes, and I listed 10 of my favorite shoes. These are the best Nike shoes, and that's on my website. So let's say CNN found it and they said, hey, here's a good website, and they posted it on their website and then linked back to mine with a hyperlink. You know what it looks like. It's a blue underline word, and you click it and it takes you to a web page. That's a backlink. And those are like gold. And what do you think is going to be better? To get a backlink from CNN or to get a backlink from your Uncle Bob's herb shop up on the town square? Probably from CNN, right? If CNN gives you credibility to your page, it's going to look really good. If a free website that's kind of crappy and looks spammy backlinks you, it's not going to carry the same weight, alright? It just doesn't. So that's what backlinks are. So when we're optimizing our page for Google, we want to focus on keywords and backlinks. Alright? Good? Good so far? Alright, cool. So how can we do this? Let's talk about keywords for a second, alright? Keywords. So when I'm having clients design their website, I tell them to pick out their dream phrase. And their dream phrase is going to be what they want people to find them at number 1 for in Google. Now, you're not going to rank for something like shoes or books or whatever, because companies like Nike and Amazon and eBay and stuff like that, they've got that on lock. They're spending tens of millions of dollars so that when people type in books, they're number 1. And those one-word key phrases or keywords are called head keywords, all right? Like head. They're hard to rank for. Pretty much impossible unless you've got millions of dollars to market with. Now, with that being said, we're not screwed, because we can rank for the 3+ word keywords, which you've probably heard are called long tail keywords. There you go. Long tail keywords. Basically, you don't need to know this, but what that means is that here's search volume, and here is number of words, and the more words in a search phrase, the lower the search volume is, tapers off like that to infinity and beyond, but they're a lot easier to rank for, but you don't need to know that. So when I'm having clients pick out what I call their dream phrase for their website, I'm asking them for long tail keywords, 3+ word keywords. So like for Uptown Down, which is my entertainment company, my dream phrase was Atlanta wedding DJ. This is something, 3 words, that I looked at and I thought that I could be competitive in. And I thought that over 6 to 8 months, which is usually about how long it takes to build that SEO campaign, that I could rank on the first page for Atlanta wedding DJ, okay? So when you're building your pages, you want to throw in, if this was your dream phrase right here, Atlanta wedding DJ, you're going to want to throw that in at the top. Now, if you know anything about coding or anything like that, you're going to want to put these in an H1 tag. If you're not a coder, don't worry about that. Your developer or your WordPress guy or whoever can show you about that. So you're going to want to wrap these in an H1, which is a header one, and then in an H2, you want what's called an LSI word, which basically just means a synonym for that. So what would be a synonym for Atlanta wedding DJ? Well, it could be Atlanta DJ, or something like Atlanta wedding entertainer, something like that. Just, you want in these H2s on the hierarchy of your page to be just some synonyms. And Google's going to look at that and say, okay, in H1 is Atlanta wedding DJ. That's probably what this page is about. All right, here's an H2, Atlanta DJ. And then sprinkled throughout the copy are different synonyms for Atlanta wedding DJ. So that's a brief overview of how to set up keywords on your page. All right, the second part that we talked about earlier is backlinks. And remember, backlinks are when another site points to yours. Basically, a backlink is another site giving you a vote of confidence and saying, hey, this guy is legit, so you want to get backlinks, okay? So how do you get backlinks? Well, there's a few black hat ways to do it, but one of the best ways that I've found is to take sites in your niche. So let's say with Uptown Down, this is what I did to get backlinks. I looked at some different wedding websites. Sorry for my handwriting. I'm not quite a handwriting expert. Don't even know what they're called, in fact. But I looked for different wedding websites in the niche. So I looked at stuff like Wedding Wire, which is a big blog for people planning a wedding. I looked at one called The Knot. But there's also lots of little niche sites. And what I would do is I would get onto canva.com, which is a free site, which we'll talk about in another video coming up. And it basically, what this does is it helps you create really good looking graphics, infographics, logos, ebook covers really quickly. What I would do is I would go on there and I would make an infographic about like 5 things to think about when you're doing a wedding DJ, or the top 10 country wedding music songs. Country music wedding songs. Sorry, I said that wrong. And I would make these infographics, and then I would just get an email from one of these other niche sites, and I'd email them and say, hey, I'm Brandon, I'm a DJ, I've got this infographic for you, I'd love for you to put it on your site. If you could, link back to me, but maybe it can help out your readers. So what you're doing is you're giving the readers of these niche sites value with your infographic, because everyone loves an infographic, and people are putting on their site, helping their readers, links back to you. All right, so if you do that 10 times, you get 10 backlinks, all going to your main homepage. Google's going to see that, and they're going to say, hey, there's like 10 points for this page. Let's move them up the search engine results page rankings. So this is not a quick process. You're looking at about 6 to 8 months, but that's a great way to get backlinks, and that's a great way to start. Make an infographic, get an email from a site in your niche, and just say, hey, I've got this, maybe it can help out your readers. Would you mind giving me a link back to my site for the trouble? I'll write you an introductory paragraph, and you'll be good. So that is your introduction to SEO. I know we went a little bit long today. We're at about 12 minutes, but just remember, SEO is not that hard. In fact, I learned just by getting on Amazon and reading and downloading the top 3 books in that category. It's a little Tim Ferriss trick. We'll talk about that soon too. But just remember, when you're dealing with SEO, you want to put your keywords on the page in a natural way by putting them in your H1 tags and in your title tags and stuff like that, and H2s. Then 2, you want to get some backlinks from high quality websites. Use canva.com, send someone an infographic, ask them for a backlink. Simple as that. So, hope that helps, and that is a brief overview of how to get further ahead in your SEO strategy for your website.